Welcome to the Pilates Show, where we explore creative and innovative Pilates tips and techniques to help deepen the skill level of the movement educator while having fun. I'm your host, Jennifer Gianni, and today we're talking about letting go of pleasing your clients. When we truly find our authentic voice in teaching, that's when we can really let go of what people think about us and wanting to be liked and wanting to please our clients at the expense of our integrity. And I know that that seems and sounds very strange to let go of wanting to please our clients all the time, but we actually really need to do that in order to find this authentic voice of ours in teaching. So I hope by the end of this episode that you'll kind of understand what I mean by that. For example, I just had a new client that came in, and we'll call her Cindy, and she came in with a diastasis. She complained of lower back pain. She also complained of pain in intercourse. And her idea of working out is a boot camp, CrossFit type of workout. So very, very hard. And she doesn't feel like she's working out unless she's bracing. And of course, when she's coming into the Pilates studio, I'm going to be doing very, very different things for her so she can start to connect to her body. And she was resisting a lot of the work because it didn't feel like a workout to her. And it was great because she addressed this with me. She asked me about it, and we had a big conversation about it. And it seems that Cindy is not able to let go of her boot camp workouts or her CrossFit workouts at all. And if I really wanted to retain her, to keep her in the studio, and to please her from everything that she was telling me, I could do a lot of things in the Pilates studio, tons and tons of things in the Pilates studio to make her feel that workout feeling that she wants to feel. However, to keep my authentic voice and to keep my integrity and to go on that path of how I like to approach teaching and how I like to approach movement, I could never do that. So I laid it out for her, why I was doing the movement that I was doing with her, why I was giving her the homework that I was giving her, and why I was also giving her advice on not using so much weight and to try to lessen her intra-abdominal pressure, etc., etc. However, it didn't seem that a lot of this rang true for her yet. So in order to help her and to also retain her, at the end of our conversation, I said, look, it's obvious that you don't want to let go of these hardcore workouts. How about you try to come in the studio 1 or 2 times a week, and you'll slowly but progressively start to get this information. And this information that you're getting in the Pilates studio, you'll be able to translate into your daily functions outside. You'll be able to translate the work in the studio to your CrossFit workouts or to your boot camp workouts. And maybe, and this is my secret hope, that maybe she'll start to get so connected to her center, so aware of how she aligns, how she breathes, how she moves through life, that in those hardcore workouts, maybe she'll lessen her weight. Maybe she'll slow down. Maybe she'll breathe a little bit more expansively. So with this scenario, with my client Cindy, I was totally upfront with her on what I saw happening and what I truly saw that she needed to address and to change. And then I also gave her some options, because a lot of people are not just going to go from 0 to 100. Most people aren't going to. So you have to kind of progress them. And to tell you the truth, that type of client is one of my favorite and most challenging clients. It doesn't happen all the time. But a lot of time, that type of client will come into the studio, and if I'm able to turn them around just a little bit, if I'm able to get them to see even a little bit of change in their body, something that they've never thought about, something that is totally new to them and also really impactful, I feel so wonderful about the work that I do. And it gives me a real sense of meaning in my profession, and it keeps me going. So she's a very, very challenging client, but at the same time, I really enjoy that type of client. Now, in order to process this work, especially for a beginning teacher, to start to think about building your authentic voice, it's a big job. And for you as a teacher, it's not going to happen all at once. So you have to, first of all, look at the client in front of you. You're going to serve the client in front of you. And you first of all have to do no harm to them. And you have to, little by little, from each session, you want to try to be building on to a more joyful body for that client. And then at the same time, session by session, you also have to be building that platform and that environment for yourself, that you are building a meaningful career. And so I've come up with a few questions. The first question that I'd like you to answer is, how are you expansive and generous in your teaching? How are you narrow and dogmatic in your teaching? How do you encourage growing old with grace in your teaching? How does your teaching affect your client's mental and energetic body? Do you register and recognize change in this area with your clients? Are you interdisciplinary in your teaching? Can you incorporate other ideas and modes of movement to serve your clients? Explain. Do you have a network of resources and other professionals to refer clients to? That's it. And I really hope that these details and the answers to your questions help you to build and eventually solidify your authentic voice as a teacher. Claire wrote in about her client who has an acute rotator cuff injury. And Claire and I have gone back and forth on our forum about this client. And we do this all the time with teachers, and it's really, really fun because Casey and I get to see kind of the progression that these teachers are going through with their clients. So Claire was just wondering, what am I supposed to do? This client, she has a rotator cuff injury. She doesn't really want to go see a physical therapist. She wants to come to me and have me rehab her. Well, unfortunately, that just shouldn't happen. You always need to be working in conjunction with a medical professional when a client has that type of injury. And Claire knew that. And so what Claire did eventually was that she told her client, you have to go see a physical therapist because I have to have that information from the doctor, the physical therapist, and they need to give me some protocol of what I can and cannot do with you. And Claire really had to put her foot down, but she did, and her client went and got help from a medical professional. Claire got the information that she needed. Her client now is in physical therapy, and I guarantee after that client gets out of physical therapy, she'll come back to Claire because Claire was professional, she stood her ground, and she took care of her client. That's it for today. If you have an observation or a question that you'd like to see answered in an upcoming episode, comment below on Facebook, Twitter, or the forum on our site. See you next time, and never stop learning.